Hello, everybody. Welcome to our March Patient and Family Partnership Hub Community Conversation. I'm Laura Jackson. I guess I can turn on my video here. I am the Director of Community at PFCC Partners, and welcome to today's Hub meeting. We do have interpretation available. I'm at the bottom of your screen on your menu. There looks like a little globe. If you just click interpretation there, and you can choose if you want to be in the English or Spanish channel. And a couple other Zoom features, as you may know, we do have chat. So if you want to ask any questions or have any comments during the meeting that you wouldn't like to come off mute for, you're more than welcome to add it into the chat by clicking chat here. And then you can also private message someone by clicking on their name. We also have subtitles or live transcript available. There's a CC on your menu screen. Just click that and it'll have the transcript up for you. And if you'd like to raise your hand for any questions and comments, the reactions button here again on your menu, you can click raise hand to raise your hand. And it looks like, thank you, Lindsay, put the instructions for interpretation into the chat in both English and Spanish. And you can use those to get your interpretation all set up. And like I said, we are recording these meetings, and that live transcript is available. This is our agenda for today. We'll do some introductions, and then we have a project that we did a couple weeks ago that we'd like to share with you all, called Equip LA. And then we'll talk a little bit about our online forum, which is a newer platform for us. So we want to get your thoughts on the forum. And I'll go ahead and pass it over to Mike.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again, like Laura mentioned, to our Patient and Family Partnership Hub community conversation. Thank you so much for taking time from your day and joining us. Please know that we appreciate and value your time tremendously, and that you are helping shape healthcare services for all our LA County community. Welcome, everyone. Bienvenidos a todos. In a minute, we'll do introductions. In addition to our PFCC partners, joining us today is also Mark from Green Translations, who will be helping us today by simultaneously translating our conversation in Spanish, and vice versa, we'll be helping our Spanish-speaking patient family advisors join in our conversation. Today, we aim to have a focus or a conversation around the Equip LA project, and really kind of learn more about the different social determinants of health that are sometimes a barriers for the community. So we're looking forward to learning more on that. My name is Miguel Renteria. I go by Mike, and I'm an improvement advisor for DHS. My work evolves on patient experience and supporting our culture of patient-family engagement throughout our health system. The slide that you here see is really provides an overview of our mission, values, goals, and vision. Our mission is to advance the health of our patients and our communities by providing extraordinary care. Our goals range from transforming our system to provide cost-effective care of the whole patient across the continuum, optimize clinical quality and patient experience, to have a high-performing workforce, and to ensure financial viability in support of our vision. Today, we're moving towards our mission by advancing on our strategic goal of providing high-quality care and patient experience through engaging your voice to help us in our work. Your voice, your views, and insights are incredibly important to our work. So thank you again for taking time off your day and joining us here this afternoon. Next slide. Oh, no, thank you, Laura.
So like I mentioned, I'm with PFCC Partners, and we're partnering with LA County and to bring you this Patient Family Partnership Hub. Our mission at PFCC Partners is to center the inclusive human experience of health, reinvent through radical collaboration, and be a catalyst for system transformation. Our vision is a health system transformed. We do that through one that works with people and through communities as a partner in their well-being. We do that through our values with equity, inclusion, diversity, collaboration, and being solution focused. So you might have heard us say Patient Family Partnership Hub a few times. That's what this group is. So in the LA County Department of Health Services, we have 11 patient family advisory councils, and those are more specific councils to the different organizations, hospitals, clinics. And within the hub, we have all of the patient family partners from those advisory councils are more than welcome to join us in this kind of larger conversation about the LA County Department of Health Services and what's going on, and connecting with one another as well. All right, we will do some introductions. So let us know your name, where you're calling in from, and what your favorite homemade dish is to cook, or if you're not a fan of cooking, what's your favorite homemade dish to eat? So like I said, I'm Laura Jackson. I am the Director of Community with PFCC Partners. I live up in Eugene, Oregon. Our offices are down in Long Beach, California, though. My favorite homemade dish to cook, I think, is I really like just pasta in general. So I think spaghetti it's easy and I can't really ever mess it up. So that's my favorite dish. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, you're muted if you're talking. We'll let Elizabeth get all set up, and some people were just joining, so we'll let her get all set up. And how about Olivia?
Hola, buenas tardes.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
So my name is Olivia Tovar, and I from Pascua, Michoacan, but I'm connected from Los Angeles, California. And my favorite thing to prepare is spaghetti. I have small children, so of course they like spaghetti. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. How about Maria Vasquez?
Hola, buenas tardes.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. As you know, my name is Maria Vasquez, and one of the dishes that I like to prepare, or that I like at least, is I'm from Michoacan, and carne en sojugos, and meat prepared, and so that's where I've lived for a very long time. So that's what I really care for.
Thank you for sharing. I will say that's one of my favorite dishes too. I love it. Thank you. Ray.
Yes, my name is Ray Pizarro. I'm part of the Family Patient Advisory Council at Rancho Los Amigos out of Downey, California. And my favorite dish to cook is a grilled ribeye steak with sauteed, actually wine sauce with sauteed mushrooms. So that's like my go-to.
That sounds really good too. Thank you, Ray. That sounds really good. All right, Lindsay.
Yeah, hey everyone. Apologies for not being on camera, and if I break up, my internet is a little unstable, but I'm Lindsay Galley. I'm the Vice President of Programs at PFCC Partners, and I'm located in Sacramento, California. Although, as Laura said, our offices are in Long Beach. My favorite homemade dish to cook, only because everybody loves it, is this vegan lasagna that I've made before. It has mushrooms and spinach and a homemade vegan ricotta with like lemon and sunflower and a homemade tomato sauce that's spicy. It's so good. And yeah, I love to make it because everybody else raves about it. So
Aw. That does sound good. Thank you. And Mike?
Hi, everyone. My name is Mike Lindsay. I'm calling from Northridge here in California. My favorite homemade dish to cook is probably beer battered fish tacos. They're pretty simple. They're beer battered fish with I already lost it's repollo, but it's cabbage. I'm sorry, it's a cabbage with a crema and some salsa. And they're pretty good. That's my go-to as well.
I think I'm gonna go to everyone else's houses for dinner. Sounds good.
Yeah, right.
Thank you so much. And let me just go through here. All right. All right. And Elizabeth, if you want to do your introduction in the chat, you're more than welcome to.
Hello,
Oh,
my
there
name
you
is
are. Hi.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Cooper. I'm a resident of the San Fernando Valley, the East San Fernando Valley. And I have a number of favorite dishes, but one of them, which is easy to prepare, macaroni and cheese.
Ooh.
Macaroni, cheese, and you can put other vegetables in it, and it makes it easier, and it's easy to prepare, and I think it's healthy too. I always get the ground macaroni, so that's supposed to be more healthier, but I like a number of dishes, but particularly I like something that's easy to prepare and quick to prepare.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm definitely coming over. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, everybody. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move us along and pass it over to Lindsay.
thanks, Laura. And again, apologies if I break up a little with my internet, but I'm just gonna keep rolling through it.
You sound good
So
so
we,
far.
okay, thank you. So we wanted to talk about a recent listening session that we facilitated, and this was in partnership with what their acronym is, EQUIP LA, or Equity and Quality at Independent Practices in LA County. And their goal is really to improve the experience of care at independent doctors' offices. And more so, we're looking for insights from people who had been diagnosed with high blood pressure, diabetes, and then their other focus is on improving colorectal cancer screenings for patients as well. So a few weeks ago, we had a listening session. There were, I believe, 7 individuals that participated and really shared their experiences in accessing care in LA County. It was really eye-opening. We learned a lot from what everyone had shared, but a few of the larger points or kind of the key insights that we took away from it was first, patients wanted an empathetic care team. So some participants shared experiences of feeling dismissed by all the way from, the receptionist who kind of treated them like a number, and the physician with, understandably their short amount of time that they have to see each patient. But so that really stood out to us, was wanting those empathetic care team around you. And then another point that came up was oftentimes patients were referred to other specialists, like going to a lab for lab draws, seeing an eye doctor, and others. And so when they get referred to a specialist, the timeliness of when they're able to see those specialists was a big concern for the participants in that listening session. A few things that stood out as far as, what they're looking for in their care team was how close they are to where they live. Some who, have to take the bus to go to see their doctors. They want to make sure that they don't have to go all the way across LA County, because it is huge, to do that. And then also looking at cultural identity, it was really appreciated or it was sought out, actually. Patients wanted a doctor who looked like them, who spoke the same language. And if they didn't speak the same language, offered linguistic support through an interpreter and not just another staff member who was there who could speak their same language. So these were some of the key insights that we just wanted to share, and we wanted to thank those who participated in the listening session. EQIP LA will now utilize these responses to start to put together a strategy to help independent practices improve care at their local facilities. So these are some of the key points that they will be incorporating into how they support those independent practices to improve. And they're also putting together a steering committee, which they will be bringing on patients and families into to help create that strategy around how to improve care at these independent practices. So I wanted to share that, and then I'm going to pass it off to Laura because I know Elizabeth participated in that listening session as well, and just wanted to hear some key insights from the participant perspective.
Yes, thank you. So yes, Elizabeth was a participant on that EQIP LA listening session. So I did have a few questions for you, Elizabeth, about your experience with the listening session. The first one is, how did it feel to share your experiences accessing healthcare on that listening session?
I think it was very interesting and very informative because I thought some of the concerns that they addressed, those persons in attendance, was some of the concerns maybe I've had, but I've never had an opportunity in a listening session like that to discuss it. And I think some of the concerns, like for instance, the doctors and how do you feel, and a lot of those interesting topics that were discussed. I think I have some of the same concern. Only thing about one is that the doctors, what I also was concerned about, because where I live in the San Fernando Valley, I don't see too many people my color, Afro-American people. So I look at it from how the doctors treat you and how the doctors are, no matter what your identity is. But I think a lot of those questions were very informative because they were addressed by those participants who have had that experience. But I thought all of them were very interested, and that's why I enjoyed participating in the first session.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experiences and everything. I think it's very important that we have people from all walks of life coming into these listening sessions to share your experiences, because not one person's is the same. So thank you for sharing that. What ideas do you have around improving access to healthcare for patients after attending the listening session? Did any new ideas pop up for you?
Are you speaking to me? I'm Elizabeth. I would like to see some of these ideas implemented particular, I thought, where patient care, I think the doctors sometimes need to be more sensitive of the patient need. And sometimes you're only given so many minutes when you see the doctor after they give you the test and your blood pressure is taken. The doctor, rather than short talk, they should, since you only have a few minutes, they should say, may I help you? Is there any particular problem you would like me to address today? Because I don't want them to treat you like a number. I want them to treat you like a patient. That's very important for the doctors and for his staff, because you might not always get the same doctor at all. And I like the doctors to take a personal interest in all the concern. If someone for their culture, identity, you don't have to be a member of that same culture, but you can be sensitive to that person's culture or to their language. And so that is very important, whether it's whether it doesn't matter to me at times. And you should be sensitive to their culture and to their language. That's very important. And I think that should be stressed, because oftentimes patients will go somewhere where they might not see someone, their culture. And the doctor's supposed to communicate with all patients, regardless of their culture, because we are all human beings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bringing that humanness, I guess, as the only word I can think of, into care, and just treating everyone as humans. And that cultural sensitivity is something that we talk about in language, of course, all very, very important ideas around access, what we call access of care for patients. And we did hear a little bit of that last month. We talked about what would make healthcare better for you in LA County, and language and translation was brought up. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for sharing your experience with the listening session. Any other comments about the session you'd like to share?
Oh, gee, I messed up.
Oh, we can hear you.
Oh, what I would like to see is that this continues, and I'm just so proud to hear the diversity of the other callers. But I think all of these issues, and it needs to be followed up. And I would also like to hear from a doctor's perspective. Sometimes you hear from the patient perspective, but I would like for a doctor I would say a physician to listen in, or the doctor in charge of all the physicians, particularly if they are residents, to listen in, because sometimes they talk more about clinical care in terms that maybe the patient don't understand. And it would be nice if a physician, one of the residents can hear the comments, and they would be more sensitive to all of their patients. That's what I just came up with, this idea that maybe you ought to have a physician to listen in to.
That's a great thought and great idea. And I love having them listen in and also share their perspective as well. I think that's having that back and forth discussion is also very important. So again, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for sharing your experiences. Does anybody have any questions for either Lindsay or Elizabeth about the listening session?
And Laura, this is Lindsay. I tried to switch to phone. My internet kept kicking me off the meeting. But I just wanted to, if there aren't any questions, just wrap up by thanking Elizabeth for participating and the other patients and family caregivers that joined us. We wanted to bring it to this group and kind of debrief it, just to share that there are so many opportunities like this to get involved and share your experiences, all in an effort to support the improvement in healthcare that we all want to see. So we're looking forward to sharing even more opportunities like this with all of you.
Thank you. All right. Well, we can go ahead and move on to our next topic, which is the community forum. And we've brought it up in the past couple meetings. Again, we do have a new space for our forum. And so this is a space for you all to share what your ideas and resources with one another in between these hub meetings. It's a place for you to connect, and a place for us to post those resources and any of these discussions that we have during these meetings. So I did have a few questions for you all about how you would like to use the forum, because it is a community forum and it will be a place that you all can feel free to post anytime you would like. So one question is, how can we make the forum, the online forum, more useful to you? So are there certain things that we can post to make it more useful for you as a community member? So feel free to come off mute and let us know.
¿Puedo hablar?
Yeah, hi, may I say something?
Sí.
Una de las cosas que yo pienso que
Yeah, one of
sería
the things that I think would be useful, says Maria Vasquez, is that speaking of like one's own experience as a caregiver or as an individual that just went to the doctor and received that specific care directly from the physician or the people the second you set foot at the facility. Because like one of the experiences that I had, for instance, the impression that I had was really super good as far as the doctors and the personnel and the caregiving to make the patient feel that you are important and that you lifts the patient's spirits a lot and makes them feel that I could even say it's almost a magical experience, because that would happen to my mom. And the last time I mentioned that mom, she was hurt and she didn't even want to undergo surgery, and I had to go to Mexico for a second opinion. I took her to another doctor and they did her surgery and
el lapso
walking. And in the period of a month's time, and I just wanted to mention to you how she was made to feel that she could still do this, and that she had been hospitalized and in bed for 17 days, and now now she's not like fully mobile and walking everywhere, but she is taking steps, and that's because of how she was made to feel. And now I'm back here and I feel very happy because of the experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing that, Maria. I agree. I think this would be a good place, I think, for you all to share. We can set up a place for you all to share your stories. Is that kind of what you're thinking? A place to share your experiences?
pues real
Well, and more than anything, just so that we can attest to the fact that there are doctors where we receive really good care, and where and even to know places that aren't, for us to be able to share where the protocol isn't necessarily followed or the service isn't that great. I think it's part of the whole that one has to talk about and share. I feel very fortunate and thankful with you all, because that's because I've been learning so many good things through all of this conversation with you. I just wanted to throw that as my opinion and my 2 cents on the subject. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria. And again, thank you for sharing. I think that's a really great idea. I think we can find some way to bring you all together within the forum, and share your stories a little bit, and talk about those successes, or maybe even not so great times. I think it's important to share both sides of the experience and share your experiences of a whole. And that's a really great idea. Thank you, Maria. Any other thoughts on how we can make the forum more useful to you?
Laura, I have a question. I'm curious if, oh, go ahead,
Hello.
Elizabeth.
Hi.
Hi.
I think what the previous person just said, I thought it was a very good idea. And I think more humaneness from the doctor. I know they have many challenges. And also, I would like to be, with the forum could be more useful to you when a person is given options, when he or she might have, a patient might have an illness, and the doctor might make second recommendations. I would like to hear, how do doctors prepare a patient when they would like to recommend a particular procedure, which might be something the patient may or may not want to prove of. That's very important, because many patients get recommendations. Maybe it's a serious medical concern, and the doctor have to give them options. But I think that needs to be discussed. That's very important, because it's going to a doctor. It's not just about checking your blood pressure, etc., but it's a lot of other serious concerns. And we want to feel that the doctors are competent, they are sensitive, and they are aware of the pros and cons, and listen to the patient, because that could be an issue. Many patients grapple with their doctor's recommendation about a procedure and whether they want to do it, and they shouldn't be put on a guilt feeling because they may or may not be hesitant about it. And that's very important too. I've never heard that before, but that's very important. I think I've heard it in the experiences.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. I think maybe some resources around those visits. I've seen resources of what to ask your physician, or what to look out for in your doctor visits, or even making those hard decisions in the doctors. So what I'm hearing is maybe some resources in the forum of how we can improve those for you. Thank you.
And Laura, this is Lindsay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really like that. And I think that there's an opportunity to have a space in there for everyone to learn from one another as well. That's kind of what I'm hearing, is like, sharing your own experiences to either learn from or help someone else with what they might be going through as well. And
Mhm.
Elizabeth, you know, that happened on the listening session too. There was another woman on, I think her name was Joyce, and she was talking about how she did a lot of research to find the doctor that she wanted. And then there was some discussion and sharing about, you know, how she really found that doctor that she really wanted. So I feel like there's a lot that we can learn from one another in that sense. And I just wanted to clarify too that the forum would be a space for patient family caregivers, patient family advisors, or, you know, anybody who is partnering with healthcare, you know, sharing their experiences to help improve healthcare. So with that, I was kind of curious if anyone uses or goes on any other online forums or websites where, you know, it's kind of an
Hello?
online community of sorts, like Facebook,
Hello?
I know has communities and things like that.
Oh.
I'm curious if anyone else joins other communities online.
Maria says in the chat to teach us to ask for second or third opinions from doctors. Absolutely. Thank you. Does anybody have any other forums or anything that they use for connecting with other patient family partners?
Or just people in general, any other sort of community groups, you know, if you have a passion or a hobby, people that you connect with in that way online and how that works.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, I was curious if anyone on has used online websites or online communities to connect with other people, whether it's
Can you
kind of
repeat the
around.
question, the final question, the other question?
Can you hear us, Elizabeth?
Can you repeat the question, the last question?
Sure. Lindsay, do you mind?
Yeah, we were just wondering if anyone uses online communities for anything else, whether it's, you know, you're really into
That's not the
cooking,
last
so
question.
you have a cooking community or something like that. Is that not the question? I'll go back to Laura.
My apologies. I thought that was the last question.
Are we on the same question?
Well, Lindsay asked a question that was not on the screen, as she was just curious if anybody was part of any communities, online communities that they would like to share. Nope, I guess not. All right. And additionally to, we've kind of answered a little bit of this, the second question here. What kind of posts would you like to see on the forum? But like I said, it's a new space for us. And there's plenty of space for you all to share your anything you would like to share with the community. What kind of posts, though, would you like to see from us on the forum? So like those resources, I'm happy to set up a space for you all to share your experiences like Maria was talking about. Are there any other kind of posts that you would like to see on the forum? No, we got it all covered. Cool. Oh, go ahead, Elizabeth.
Perdón, ¿en dónde podremos
Oh,
ver el
hi.
foro?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
sorry, where would we be able to, interpreter needs to clarify briefly, there was some other speaker and the
Oh.
interpreter wasn't able to hear, just clarifying 1 moment, please, thank you.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether that would be appropriate to ask
¿En,
this
en dónde
question,
podremos
so
ver el
I'll
fórum
listen to the
consecutivamente?
other
¿O sería el fórum
caller.
solamente para
There was a
nosotros o para
question
toda la comunidad?
suggestion I would like to make.
Sorry, Miss Elizabeth is speaking right at the same time as one of the Spanish speakers, and the interpreter isn't able to keep up with both at the same time.
Okay. Elizabeth, go ahead, and then we'll get to, and then Maria. So Elizabeth, go ahead.
I'm sorry about that.
No, that's
I hate to
okay.
interrupt. I don't know whether this is appropriate to ask this, but I think I'll pass on it. Maybe I'll think about it.
Okay. Feel free to ask whenever. Thank you, Elizabeth. All right, go ahead, Maria.
Oh, perdón, sí, disculpe, mi pregunta sería.
Yeah, sorry. So my question was, where can we see the forum consecutively, or is this going to be private or for the whole community open, where one can to send it and forward it to other folks that may not be receiving it?
Wonderful question, Maria. And my apologies, I didn't even bring up the forum, but I will put the link to the forum here. Oh, that's not the link. This link here. Right there in the chat. You can access the forum through that link. When you click on that link, it'll look like this. And in order to post or see, comment on other people's posts, you will need to sign up. And you just do that by clicking sign up here. And then I'm already signed up. So, but you put in your username, your email address, and a password, and then you create your account, and you are able to then post in the community forum. And you can do that by clicking here on the Los Angeles County Department of Health Services, which is LAC DHS Patient Family Partnership Hub. And we have a couple posts in here already that you are welcome to take a look at. This is somewhat public. You do have to have a login to post anything or to comment on anything. But as you can see, I'm not signed in right now, and I can see this. The link, Mike, you might have to help me out here. The link is not publicly distributed. So pretty much only people with the link here are people that access it. But yes, if you are not signed in or you don't have a a login or anything, you still can see the different posts. You just can't comment it, and you can't post anything new. But once you do sign up, you can come in here, and you are more than welcome to post a new topic. You can ask questions, you can share stories, you can share any resources that you come across that you think the other patient family partners in LA County Department of Health Services, if you think would be useful to other folks, you're more than welcome to come in and post those as well. Yes, Elizabeth.
I would like to make an inquiry. This is very interesting. How many are these meetings going to be every month for the whole fiscal year of 2023?
So these meetings, yes, they are monthly on today's the fourth Monday, monthly on the fourth Monday at this exact time. And I'll make sure to add you into our list if you would like to keep joining us. We'd love to have you.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. And then, yeah, in between those monthly meetings, you all are more than welcome to head over to this space. Use it as your own. And we welcome you to, again, post. So we've got questions on here. We've got celebrations. And we'll be posting these questions from these meetings again onto the forum as well. So it's still a new space. So feel free to make it your own. And
Lauren, and to add as well, you know, the forum is also accessible through our LAC DHS web page.
Thank you.
I shared the link on our chat, and you could kind of navigate it or navigate to it by getting on our webpage, our main webpage, and then selecting who we are, and then under volunteer services is our patient family partnership hub. And that link will just, you know, give you some overall information of our patient family partnership hub community, as well as access to the forum as well. So that's another way to kind of navigate to it as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mike. All right. Any other? Any other questions about the forum? All right. So lastly, we have our PFCC conference coming up on May 2nd. We will be down there in LA at the California Endowment Center. And we are excited to see everyone in person, and excited to bring this conference again to LA. Again, it's been a couple of years since we've done this one in person. So we're super excited. Registration is now open if you'd like to join us for the conference on May 2nd. But additionally, on May 1st, we are having our patient community open house. So it's also at the California Endowment Center, May 1st from 2 to 4:30. And this is a place for patient family partners who are attending the conference, and patient family partners in the LA community, the LA area, are more than welcome to join us to learn more about our organization, but also learn about each other and the work that you're doing, and learning from each other. We welcome you to join us. Come and go as you please, anytime between 2 and 4:30. Elizabeth?
Yes, I think that was very, I think those events that are being planned are very interesting. But for some who would like to attend, what kind of resources are you going to offer so that they can participate if some would not have available resources?
You're talking about people who can't attend the conference?
Transportation, etc.
Mm.
Because that would be, so many would, those who have participated online might be interested, but there need to be some sort of resources to assist them because they would love to participate and hear from others, from their experiences.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm not sure, unfortunately.
Laura,
Yeah.
we actually do, we have scholarships available for the conference. So anyone within 100 miles, I believe, you can get your conference registration covered. And people, I think, outside of 100 miles will provide a stipend for travel, and conference registration is waived. So we can share that scholarship information and follow up from our meeting as well.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Good question.
Yes, very good question. Thank you. Any other questions? Nope. All right. Well, we hope to see some of you there if you can make it. All right. And that brings us to the end. So our next community conversation is April 24th at 3:30. So same time. And again, we'll get more into the forum in between those meetings so we can connect with each other then. Other than that, I'll give you all 4 minutes back in your day. I can hang out if anybody has any other questions. If not, we'll see you next month. Thank you, everybody.